Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Xogot tutorial. In today's video, we're going to be outlining the differences between Godot on iPad, and Godot. Xogot keeps the same Godot workflow you're familiar with, just fit for touch. Here we are on the Xogot landing page. Notice the entirely new look. Of the many updates, my favorite is the Learning Center. If you're new to game dev, this could be a good way to get started. Though, if you're a seasoned Godot developer, you may find yourself wanting to import your old projects. You can do that by clicking the folder icon. Here you can open projects from other locations on your iPad, such as a USB drive or even apps like Working Copy, which by default saves repositories to its own folder. Now that we have a better understanding of the Xogot landing page, let's click New Project. I'm going to name mine Tutorial. Right here, you can change where your project is saved. Though for this demo, I'm just going to keep it saved at its default location. In just a moment, we have a powerful and sleek editor. Let me walk you through the basics. Welcome to the Xogot editor, the main workspace you see when you open a project. Here on the left is the sidebar, Files, and the Scene Tree. This is where you'll find your scenes, scripts, and assets. Here in the center, we have our viewport, your 2D or 3D canvas for viewing and editing scenes. Across the top is a compact tab bar for open scenes and quick navigation. This button here should open something that looks familiar. The inspector, where you edit your selected node's properties. Along the bottom are the common utility tabs: Output, Debugger, Audio, Animation, and Shader Editor. To edit your code, you'd click this button to open the script editor. Xogot keeps the interface lean, everything familiar from desktop Godot, pared down and optimized for touch and screen space. And that's the editor at a glance. Beautiful! Hopefully that gives you a pretty good overview of the Xogot editor. Though, if you have any more questions, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments below. Now, let's return back to the demo we just created. This project should be a good demo in helping us understand the small differences in form between Xogot and Godot. For this tutorial, I have a sprite ready in my camera roll. To import our photo, we'd click the plus icon in the file panel. Now we simply tap import photos, and I'll choose my photo and click the check mark. Let's rename the photo by holding down on it and clicking rename. I'll name it player sprite. Let's create a scene and add our newly imported sprite by clicking the plus icon in the node panel. You'll notice that the add node dialog comes with some handy improvements. Nodes are now grouped into helpful categories, making them easier to find. You can even create complex nodes in a single step, like adding a mesh and a static body at the same time. The Alt tab gives you quick access to your favorite and recently used nodes. For what we're trying to do, let's just use a sprite 2D. Let's name this player. Perfect. Now that this is in our scene, we can change its texture property as to render the sprite I imported earlier. But wait, where are our node properties? Well, Axolotl, if you're listening to my overview, you'd remember that they're hidden under this icon. Great, that's what I'm used to seeing. This part should feel familiar. Click Pick Resource, then Load, and then our file. And voila. Though, is it just me, or does our sprite look a little off? Nope, I'm not imagining it. I made a rookie mistake. This pixel art image is blurry, meaning it has the wrong interpolation type. No sweat, we can easily fix this. Let's head our way into settings by clicking this menu icon, and then tapping Settings. Here you are met with two tabs, Xogot Settings and Project Settings. Project Settings is the same one you know from Desktop Godot. It controls your game's configuration. Xogot Settings configure how Xogot behaves, including some of the options found in Desktop Godot, such as indenting with tabs or spaces. For our blurry sprite, we'll go to Project Settings, and now we'll navigate to our desired setting. This is exactly how it is found in Godot, which is under Rendering, Textures, and changing our default texture filter to Nearest. Wonderful, our edges are clear and sharp. There's one more thing I want to do in settings though. Let's head our way back. For our demo, I want to use on-screen controls. To keep things simple, we will be using the most direct setup for this video. This would be the Xogot Virtual Controller. This solution was created by the Xogot team and can be found under Virtual Controller. This option works by emulating a virtual gamepad, which requires input actions just like Godot, by navigating to the Input Map tab in this drop-down menu. Let's create our actions by clicking the plus button and then naming each of our actions. We'll do this for each direction. Move right, move left, move up, and move down. Now we'll add an action event to each of our actions. We'll go to joypad axis, and for right, we'll do left stick right. Now repeat it for each of the actions. Wonderful, everything's set up. Now we can code. We can do this by selecting our node, which we want the script to be on. Now we'll tap this new script icon. This will bring up a familiar dialog. Since we'll be making our player move, I'll name it player movement. Here we are in Xogo's code editor, a streamlined version of what you're used to in Godot. For instance, when typing without a detachable keyboard, there's a custom toolbar with common symbols for easy access and touch. One notable difference in terms of scripts is that Xogot is GD script only. This keeps things smooth and consistent on iOS. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to assume you're a Godot pro and speed through this code. Though, if you need a little more help, you can check out this video. One thing I'd like to point out though is that we can grab quick references just like Godot. You can hold down on a node and drag it over to your editor. And now we'll create a simple export variable which will show up in the editor just as you'd expect. We'll now use our input actions we set up earlier, which will work great with our on-screen controls. We should be good to go, so let's click the run button and then select the current scene, and we'll save it as test. And just like magic, we have a moving character with on-screen controls. You just created your first ever Xogot project and translated your knowledge into the new app. But wait, we're not done. Just like Godot, Xogot can export games. Let's click Export Game, and you'll be presented with two options. You can use local export to download a zip of your HTML files, which you can upload to a host like itch.io. Or you could also use build and upload, which goes to Xogo's servers and makes it shareable with anyone. This is hosted for free for 30 days. Let's click that now. Now we have our game playable on the web. This lets you share your games with family or anyone online. And with that, you should be fully equipped to translate your Godot knowledge into Xogot. If you're having trouble, various resources are at your fingertips. You can check the docs, email Xogot support, or even leave a comment below. We also have a thriving Discord server where I'm sure everyone would be happy to help. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like this video, and look out for more Xogot videos. Bye.